In the wake of 9/11, hate crimes rose and discriminatory policies such as the Patriot Act became the law of the land. This left the Muslim American community being seen as suspects in their own homes, and the need for advocacy and political involvement in our communities grew clearer than ever. There was a real effort to suppress the Muslim American voice, but we banded together to endorse Senator John Kerry for president to show our power and gain respect.
And then SNL happened.
Several major American Muslim groups gave their endorsement to John Kerry this week. In response, Kerry was like, "Oh, no, really, thanks. I'm good. Thanks, though. Thank you."
At least we weren't being completely ignored.
We had a lot of work to do to go from suspect to citizen. This realization brought a new energy and determination, especially among young Muslim American voters. Muslims were engaged. In 2006, this was where the idea of Emgage was formed. We built a machine that would empower Muslim Americans to use their vote and their resources in politics to gain respect and impact policy.
Probably our first struggle in the beginning. For people like me, first-gen kids, we were lost until we found something that kind of integrated the American lifestyle with also the Muslim culture. Emgage was kind of at the forefront of that. It's a really good resource for the community to create a machine that creates people to lead our communities or to represent our communities in the future.
Emgage came out the gate strong by endorsing Keith Ellison, who became the first Muslim American in Congress.
His victory was our victory, as it established Emgage as a serious contender in the American political game.
Emgage started by educating voters about the process, investing in building a database of voters, and establishing the tools to support candidates, or, when necessary, oppose them. And as more and more Muslims exercised their civic right, we realized we could make a real impact. Emgage added leadership development to its work to train the next generation to prioritize civic engagement.
One of the ways that we've been able to do that, and I'm proud of being part of this from the very beginning, is our Emerging Leaders program. Through this program, we've been able to develop an extraordinary pipeline of American Muslims who are fully engaged, equipped with the tools and the skills they need to become big citizens, active in the civic and political stage.
In 2008, a Florida member of Congress, Allen West, came to the fore as the most Islamophobic elected official of his time. Emgage mobilized young people to knock on doors, sent mailers, and used its database tools to target voters in Congressman West's redistricted area 2010.
Our Muslim community turned out almost 80%. And Allen West lost by 2,000 votes.
The defeat of Allen West catapulted Emgage into the national spotlight. Emgage wasn't just a moment, it was now a movement. What began in Florida soon merged with a group in Texas and then spread to chapters in Virginia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and later, New York. The state chapters tightened their budgets to expand Emgage's reach to the national level, where it had continued to empower Muslim Americans to advocate for human rights at home and around the world.
But our core team has been critical in getting us to a million Muslim votes, winning some of those prominent elections in this country.
We now have partnerships and alliances throughout the nation. We now work with 70 valued state and local grassroots partners to get out the Muslim American vote.
Emgage now, for a number of years, has been part of a collective that is vetting and endorsing and supporting the appointment of Muslim Americans to the federal government. And we're tracking over 200 Muslim Americans have been appointed to the federal government, including a historic number of federal judges.
Emgage is on the front lines of fighting for change and upholding American values. We recognize our fight is also an intersectional one.
How do we put pressure on the Biden administration, which is we're going to vote uncommitted in the states that allow it in the Democratic primaries? And so Emgage has transcended the Muslim and Arab space. And so right now in Pennsylvania, Emgage is working with progressive groups, Arab groups, Black groups, Muslim groups.
Every day brings fresh challenges, but this fight for justice and equality is worth every effort. This isn't just for us, it's for generations to come. It has taken years, but finally, the Muslim American community has gone from being the joke to being the swing vote for presidential elections. Now, there is respect for our values and listening to our voices. Emgage has made significant strides, but the path ahead remains long and demanding. We acknowledge the vast scope of work still needed to truly transform our country and the world. Driven by purpose and united in our efforts, we are committed to pushing the boundaries of what we can achieve together.
I want to really take a moment and thank the people who have been running Emgage for, since the beginning. those people have done very well with their team to accomplish a vision that we only dreamed about a decade ago. To see the fruits of some of that now, it's quite amazing. And I think that all of you and all of the people that are watching this video should really pat yourselves on the back because you believed in something and you believed in the message. And this is our future. So the more we invest in it now, the more safer our future will be.
I'm so proud that we've been able to create a vehicle to give them an opportunity to shine and to show other communities that the Muslim American community has such great talent in this space, such great thinkers and people who have Islamic values and project them in such an honorable way. And I'm very proud of the fact that we can hopefully, inshallah, create careers for many years to come.
At the intersection of being Muslim and American, you find Emgage.